es la voz de LA. It's like una galaxiana, come and kick it with us. I bring the bossa nova beats and talk the club that we love. Another year to adjust, and Will Kuntz we all trust. 6 titles in the cabin, tell the haters shut up. Mirar al horizonte con el cielo morado. Llegamos al estadio como siempre lo hago. Es la nueva temporada, ya cumplí 30 años. Rezándole a San Pequi que no dé al travesaño. Que repartan los balones y no sean tacaños. Que regrese el contraataque y que le hagamos daño. Un saludo para Robert, hermanos ecuatorianos. Que la táctica de Ananda nunca sean en vano. Si se trata de mi gala me levanto temprano. Ver el fur en verano, en el pasto tumbado. Siempre estoy a tu lado, en cualquier resultado. Vamos Galaxy, on top is where I gotta be. Chilling in the canopy, staging like a winery. Goals during rivalries, brew from the refinery. Only want the finer things, we letting you know. Lo que pasa en la galaxia, ready, let's start the show.
Hello, hola, and buenas, buenas. Welcome back to another episode of La Cuna Galaxiana, a podcast made with love for all you LA Galaxy fans out there and all you MLS sickos wherever you may be. We thank you once again for hanging out with us and getting clued in to all things happening in Galaxylandia and the league. Today, we have a very special breakaway episode of La Cuna Galaxiana with our very amazing guest, MLS Season Pass Insider and Studio and Analyst Michele Giannone, who will be here to give us his thoughts on the state of the Galaxy, how it got like this for LA, if there's a way back for the champs, and what, if anything, the cure might be to get them back on course. We'll have all that on today's episode. But before we intro our special guest, let me remind you guys to keep on subbing to this podcast. You guys got us to 500, and we want to say thank you for that. Now we're on the march to 600. Please help us get there before it is playoff time. Come on, guys. And tune into our regular scheduled pod on Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m., where we'll bring you match previews and match reactions. We'll see you guys on Mondays and Thursdays. And now, without further ado, let's bring you our special guest. This man has been in and around the game and has done it all. He's an insider and studio analyst for MLS Season Pass, an anchor on MLS 360, MLS Countdown, and La Previa. Did I mention that he's been doing this in both languages? Before that, he was the lead reporter and analyst covering all MLS matches as lead silent reporter for To The End and Univision. He's also covered the U.S. men's national team at several tournaments, namely El Mundial, the Nations Cup, Copa America, and multiple Gold Cups. And if that wasn't enough, he's also doing some NFL and MLB broadcasts too. Please welcome to the show, Michele Giannone. Bienvenido, ¿cómo estás? Welcome.
Muy bien. What's up, Rob? Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh man, it's great to have you. It's really humbling for Ananda and I, who isn't here today, and obviously he sends his regards. Shout out Ananda wherever you're at. But it's really humbling for us whenever we get folk like yourself that have, you know, been covering the sport internationally and on the biggest stages, and you guys have a moment to stop by this humble little pod. So we want to say thank you to you. But before we get into this analyzing Galaxylandia, and that's Kobe Cosmo right there, he wants to say hello real quick to you as well. Where can the folk find you and your work?
Well, I think you said it all. Every weekend on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, we're doing La Previa, we're doing 360, then we're doing El Resumen in Spanish, which is the wrap-up in English. I've been doing some sidelines too. I just got back from Cleveland yesterday. I did the Columbus Inter Miami game sideline for the Spanish language broadcast with Sami Sadovnik and Diego Valeri. That's been fun. I've gotten to do, I think that's my third or fourth Sunday night soccer. Well, Sunday night soccer, this was a Saturday afternoon soccer, but because it's Easter, they moved the game to Saturday, but it was supposed to be Sunday night soccer between Columbus and Miami. And yeah, every weekend, I've been blessed to, after I exiting Univision and To The End, now finding myself back full-time with MLS. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. We've been doing everything we can to bring you guys the best content that we can on Major League Soccer. I know it's not easy for some people, having to pay another streaming service, having the paywall. I hear the criticism. I want you to know that we understand you guys, but we can just do what we can do to bring you the best content and the best coverage that we can. And for me, I love coming into these type of shows, podcasts. Man, I started once as a young kid with dreams of being where I'm at right now, and I started like all you guys, like putting content out, doing. I mean, when I started, podcast wasn't a thing, but I love doing this because it's another excuse to talk soccer and the thing that we love with fans around the league, because I live in San Diego right now, so I for the last few years I've been covering Galaxy and LAFC very close by, so it's been great, and it's always a pleasure to talk Galaxy with you guys.
And that's actually where you and I had the pleasure of meeting one day. I remember long ago, we actually had kind of snafus on the same day. You hit a bunch of traffic coming up from San Diego, and for whatever reason, my forgetful self forgot my press pass at home that day. So we were both outside of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like, hey, let us in.
Yeah, I remember that.
Please, someone help us, let us in. So that's where I had the pleasure of meeting you, man. So it's really good to hook up again. Thank you so much. Well, like you said, you've been covering the Galaxy for a while. I mean, the bad years last year when they won MLS Cup. And then going into this year, what were your expectations? Try to think back 2 months ago. What were your expectations for the LA Galaxy this season, considering all the roster changes they went through, the new players they brought in? Did you have them as part of the playoff picture or as MLS Cup contender?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if contender will be the word that I use, but they ask us to do our like regular season before the season starts, or like predictions that I know that fans and teams don't like when we put your team outside of the playoffs. But if I'm not mistaken, honestly, I can't remember right now, but I had the Galaxy, obviously not having Ricky Puig and knowing that Ricky Puig wasn't going to be available at least until August, September, I knew that there was going to be a step back. So I think, I mean, I don't want to, I will have to check, but I definitely had them in the playoffs. I think maybe like 5th or 6th on the West, maybe higher, maybe 4th. But I definitely wasn't expecting this. Watching the Galaxy right now being the worst team in Major League Soccer, they're on the last in the West, last in the Supporter Shield standing. Seeing the Galaxy behind Montreal, DC, Toronto, it's brutal. And I knew there was gonna be a step back. I knew they were not gonna be maybe Supporter Shields contender, because once you enter in the playoffs, it's a new tournament. So it doesn't matter if you go into the play-in. It doesn't matter if you win Supporter Shield. Winning Supporter Shields doesn't mean anything. There's been just like 2-3 times in league's history that the Supporter Shield winner end up winning MLS Cup.
Right.
I'm sorry if I don't remember correctly. I'm just doing this out of the top of my head. But I had definitely the Galaxy on the playoffs, and like not a playing team. Like I had them again, I think like 5th or 4th in the West.
Well, you have the benefit of being local to Los Angeles, covering both LA clubs, but also being there in San Diego for basically el nacimiento de un nuevo club, desde las raíces, de nada, right? And the Galaxy had a date with San Diego FC, the first game of the season, the celebration of the trophy, and they got it brought down, and then San Diego goes out and drops a 2-0 at them in their home. Was that a surprise for you? I mean, and then when you saw this, did you, was it an indication that there were maybe some bigger problems there?
Absolutely. I remember we're watching, my favorite part of the work that I do right now, it's we have something that is called the green room, that it's on TV. It's known like imagine like a big locker room. It's where there are TVs and when we're off air, like we all sit down and watch games or hang out. So, for example, of course, we're just doing the pre-game show and the post-game show for that game, which is the Sunday Night Soccer game, right? But during the game, we're all watching on this room with that has TVs and everything, and everyone's there. Like I'm hanging with all the English crew people, with Sasha Kleshton, with Dax McCarty, BWP, with Gio Savarese, etc. It's like our like common room, where we'd have like chill when we're on air, whatever. And I remember like during the game and almost like mid like second half, I think Dax McCarty said something that it exemplified exactly where we're watching. It's like Galaxy looks like the expansion team tonight. Like really it looked like the Galaxy was the team that was trying to figure out things that just ended up putting this roster together, and they were entering the league that night. They were so bad. So bad, and they've been bad for what we expect, right, from the Galaxy. But the standings speak from themselves. But that night, I remember, man, it's worse that I could ever imagine, because it's been like a perfect storm, right? At the beginning, you don't have Ricky Puig. I think since week 4 or 5, I've been telling this joke. It's like, congratulations to Ricky Puig for winning the MLS MVP 2025. Because without Ricky Puig, this team has gone. I mean, everything has gone so bad. So we already knew this, how good he was, but he has shown how valuable he is for this team, right? But you had also like this perfect storm of all the injuries. Sanabria, one of the new signings, plays to game, and then he has the broken collarbone, so he's out for a few weeks. Yaman has been in and out. Yoshida has been injured too, and I don't think he's played very well when he's been on the field. Then obviously you have Painsil that misses the first 6-7 weeks, and you have Fagundes playing on the wing. He's not really a winger nowadays. He doesn't have the pace. He doesn't have the speed. And I cannot stand watching Marco Reus play. I don't like watching a player that it looks like he doesn't care. He's walking the field. He looks disinterested. He exemplifies, sadly, what this league has been trying to eliminate, which is older European players that come here and it feels like they came here for a vacation and to retire. Royce has been terrible, and maybe it's not completely his fault, but he was the one that was expected to step up in place of Ricky Puig, right? At least at the beginning of the season, and especially that game against San Diego, when it's the first game of the season, you just see a player that a lot of the times shies away from the play. Like he doesn't want the ball, which is crazy for me, for a player of his caliber, for a player that was so good during his careers, for his quality. And then, for example, the game where you guys get destroyed by St. Louis, if I'm not mistaken, was 3-0, 3-0, right? 3-0. On one of the goals, just I think it's the first or the second goal, he just like standing there watching
on the set piece.
On the set piece, and he doesn't follow the guy that end up scoring. It's like, dude, at least give me effort. So you have this perfect storm of Royce is playing terrible. Fagundes cannot carry the offense. Painsil is injured, so and he's just barely came back. You can feel and see it on how Gabriel Peck feels all this pressure or of trying to carry the team, and you could see it the way he's finishing up plays. He's missing goals that last year everything was going in.
Automatic.
This year nothing is going in.
Right.
So it took Christian Ramirez a few games to get comfortable with this offense and to start scoring goals. And again, little things like, Yoshida making errors that you don't expect from him. Yamane in and out. Garces hasn't been sharp. Zanka hasn't been a great signing. So you have all these little things that have created this perfect storm, and it's been absolutely terrible. So I'm sorry I went long, but now what I'm seeing on this team is, there's improvement. You should have won or at least get a point again against Austin. But now the same thing that we saw against Tigres on the second leg, Painsil and Peck, they need to finish their chances. And they're not doing that. Period.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's an offense that's only scored 6 goals all year, contributing to those 6 losses. I mean, you mentioned that this is the worst start by an MLS champ, and you mentioned the failings of a Zanka, Maya Yoshida, who normally doesn't make those mistakes. That's contributed to no clean sheets in the league so far. Good enough, for those 3 points. And yeah, you're right. I mean, perhaps the Galaxy could have gotten something out of that 1-0 loss to Austin, but so far it seems like all they've gotten this year has been those quote unquote moral victories, them coming back against Tigres, showing heart. They haven't been able to translate that into a full 90-minute performance or 3 points. But tactically for you, you mentioned that perfect storm of injuries and stuff like that. But for you tactically, what's been the problem?
It's not mostly about tactics, because I feel honestly bad for Vanney, at least at the beginning of the season. Like, what are you gonna do? You have all these injuries. You don't have potentially the second or third best player in the league, Enrique Puig, and you can't count on him until August, September, when maybe the season, or most likely the season, is gonna be over. For you, if you keep this pace, for sure, it's gonna be he's gonna be done by June or July.
We're already doing math.
Yeah, I mean, I asked this to Gio Savarese, who's obviously a very successful coach, and I asked him in one of the 360 shows that we're doing. It's like, what's the timeline? Like, if you're Vanney or you're part of the Galaxy front office, like, what's the timeline that you put yourself to know when you have a chance, or to know when the season is done? Because you also have to start thinking, what are you going to do with Ricky Puig, right? Because if you're by July, you're done. And at this pace, you're going to be done by July, like no chance to get into the playoffs, what's the point of forcing Ricky Puig back, right?
Absolutely.
You put him on the injury reserve, and maybe you can, or there's another situation here. Maybe in July, I'm just repeating what he told me. Maybe in July, you see yourself that you have a chance, right? Because now they're playing. If you want to be a playing team, maybe the math still works, But Ricky Puig is not going to be available until September. So what do? Do you wait for Puig, or do you say, Ricky, we just gonna put you on the injury reserve list, on your
season ending,
and then season ending, and then that opens his DP spot to get someone on the summer, and then trying to make a run as soon as the window opens, right? So those are things that I think Vanney and the front office has to start thinking, because I mean we're in May already, right? But going back to your question, I think tactically what I saw against Austin, I really like. I think the best tactical system right now for this team is the 4-2-3-1 or 4-1-2-3, however you want to call it, with Fagundes playing as a 10. I didn't like the and I know it was kind of forced without Painsil in putting Fagundes on the wing. I said that was not going to work since the beginning. Again, he doesn't have the pace. He doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have the one-on-one ability right now in his career to play as a wing for what this team needs. So I think Fagundes is your best 10 option over Royce. I don't want to see Royce anymore. Like, thank you. If he can be used as a depth piece that can come in at the end of games and try to do something, but from the start, now you have Pencil and Peck, I think you can play Fagundes as a 10 behind Christian Ramirez, and you're going to create chances like you did against Austin. There's no, like, you play that game 100 times. The one time that the Galaxy was going to lose that game, it happened on Saturday because you expect Pencil and Peck to finish the chances that the team has created because they created the chances and they were the better team on Saturday. But again, now you have the pieces back. You have to finish their chances. And you expect Peck and Pencil to do that. If they don't do that, then you're in even worse shape. But I don't know how you get worse than this.
Yeah, how do you go even worse from here, right? You mentioned Christian Ramirez. He has a couple of goals to his name already, but besides him, none of the new signings have been outright successes. What do you think is happening there? Do you think they just haven't figured out Greg Vanney's system, or just life things, like they haven't settled in?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like every signing at the end, it's always hit and miss, right? I think they were expecting with this kid Mateus the Nascimento, the Brazilian kid, to be their new Joveljic, right? They signed him the same way that they signed Joveljic as a U22 player, but we got to remember it took time for Joveljic to be or develop what Joveljic it's right now and what Joveljic did last year. But Joveljic was getting minutes and Joveljic got here when Chicharito was here, right? So maybe he didn't feel the pressure of having to be the number 9. And then when time came up last year to be their number 9, of course he had Ricky Puig and a brilliant Peck and a brilliant Pencil to around him. But the problem now is that given what the team is going through, you don't have to, as if you're Vanney, you don't have time to experiment, right? So you don't have time to just put this kid in and give him reps when you need to get results ASAP, right? So what Vanney needs to do is trust on the quality that he has right now, which is Ramirez, Peck, Pencil, and Fagundes, in my opinion, and try to mimic what you guys did on Saturday. If the Galaxy can sustain the type of game that they did on Saturday, because I think Saturday was an anomaly. There's no universe where you play that game 100 times and the Galaxy doesn't win 99 times, right? So I think it's just a matter of time and getting healthier. Now you're getting pieces back. You got Sanabria back. Yeah, you got Yamane back. You got Pencil back. And Peck's been durable. Christian Ramirez has been durable. So now it's just a matter of time. But again, you need your. I don't think there's much more than Vanney can do. He put the best team that he could possibly put on the field on Saturday, or against Tigres, but just the players didn't execute. So I think right now it's on the players. It's on Peck, it's on Pencil to be the players that they were last year, because Christian Ramirez is going to score goals. He has shown that. He's shown that on Columbus, everywhere he's been. He's showing that with the Galaxy right now. And you can trust for a player of Fagundes, his experience. Cerrillo has been doing really well at midfield. Lapley and the youngsters have been a nice surprise. So I think Vanney has done I know this is not what probably the fans don't want to hear, but I think Vanney, with all the issues and all the injuries and everything, hasn't done a terrible job. It's just, again, the players need, at the end, the players need to perform, and they haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
I mean, we haven't talked even about the goalkeeping situation. Like
we definitely wanted to.
What do you if you're Vanney, what do you do? Like those mistakes have cost you at least 6 or 9 points. What do you do? Like those mistakes are something that you don't have planned in your head when you go into a game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, you have one on John McCarthy, you have one on Novak Mikovic. I mean, and we've been talking to Greg about this since the beginning of the year at the Coachella Valley Invitational, and since the first game when Novak Mikovic started, he let us know that was the plan all year since last year to have Novak Mikovic start, and he kind of persisted with that, and it didn't go well for him, and John McCarthy came in and also made a mistake, but kind of bounced back from that. But, with that goalkeeper battle, does it serve to unsettle an already shaky defense?
This is the part where I give Vanney. I put a little bit of blame on Vanney. My understanding is what you're saying is correct. Like, they wanted to put Mikovic in way early, even last year. Actually, he played some Leagues Cups game, but after he didn't cement himself as the Galaxy #1, right? And then you go and win MLS Cup with McCarthy. You got to stick with McCarthy, man. You got to stick with McCarthy. And then as soon as the season starts, then you start this juggling of the goalkeeping, and then both of them lose confidence. Because you, as a keeper is the most delicate position on the field, right? The whoever is #1, that can be your spot for years, and the goalkeeper #2 doesn't see the field for years. And then when mentally, because I've talked with keepers about this, when you are not sure that you're the #1, you go into a game mentally hurting already. That I cannot make the slightest mistake because I don't know if I ever gonna see the field again. And then when you're playing with that mentally kills you. And we've seen it, right? With both keepers. So that tells you that this is a problem that LA Galaxy created by themselves, by Vanney, and by the front office, to not be clear. For example, if you wanted Mikovic from the beginning, McCarthy should have not been there.
Right.
She should have been gone from the team. John, thank you. We won MLS Cup with you. You are a multiple MLS Cup champion right now, but we're going to move on. Then you come to the season and you still have this goalkeeping juggling situation, and you're killing the confidence in both. So in my opinion, this is a problem that they created themselves. And on that part, I think McCarthy and the front office are the ones to blame.
You did mention that you kind of put this more on the players than Greg Vanney. You've covered the Galaxy for a while. You know how Galaxy fans are. You know that they're very reactionary. There's definitely
very passionate.
Very let's say that diplomatically. Yes, just how you said, passionate. I'm gonna say they're damn right nutty sometimes. Yeah, no, they are definitely hashtagging Vanney out. They've already started with the hashtags Kuntz out as well. This is wild to me because this is a coach that just brought the Galaxy MLS Cup. This is an executive that just put this MLS Cup winning team together. However, this is also a coach that has missed the playoffs multiple years of his contract here, and no wins in the first 9 games. I mean, is it fair to say that he's on the hot seat? And then should he be?
I think there's 2 ways to look at this. I don't think he should be on the hot seat. And it's specifically because you said it. You just won MLS Cup, right? So, and I understand that everything in life right now is what have you done for me lately and what Vanney and the team has done for you, the fans, lately, it's been the worst team in MLS in the first 2 months of the season, right? But you just won MLS Cup, and I give Vanney a lot of credit because he navigated an impossible situation with all the Chris Klein turmoil, and what all the fan base did
The bad
and went
years.
through. Yes, and then after Klein was rightfully removed from his spot, and before Will Kuntz got there, basically Vanney had to juggle being the coach, being the GM, being everything, right? And most of the team that got assembled and most of the base that got assembled, a lot of credit also to Will Kuntz. It was because of Vanney, and he navigated that part very. That was difficult, very difficult, because you are playing a lot of characters. You're playing the character of the coach. You're playing the character of the GM, of the front office, of the guy dealing with fans that are in turmoil, that are, with reason, very angry because the Galaxy needs to be contending every year. The Galaxy needs to be a contender every year. Every year the Galaxy is not in contention, it's a failure. For the Galaxy, I'm sorry. I know it's easier said than done, obviously, but for a team like the LA freaking Galaxy, it's MLS Cup or bust, right? Done. So
no lies detected.
So I agree. I understand the fan position, and I wouldn't be shocked if Vanney is not with this team next year. We gotta remember that. And for people that don't know, he's on the last year of his contract.
Yep.
And I've heard a little bit of rumblings that it wouldn't be like the craziest of idea that he comes back to Toronto. But yeah, I mean, if I'm a Galaxy fan, obviously I wouldn't be happy, but I just want MLS Cup, right? So I understand. I'm a fan. I hate when my team is not doing well. I want my team to be up there. Like I said, I just said MLS Cup or bust, but I will give it a little bit of time. Again, now you have Paintsel back, you have Peck back, and losing Ricky Puig, man, it's just like go and remove Lionel Messi from Miami right now. What do you think that team is gonna do? Right? I mean, you just or look how hard it's for Columbus to score goals without Cucho. Like, you just remove from the Galaxy. With MLS is such a complex and difficult league for roster construction. If you don't hit with your DPs, you're cooked, right? And Absolutely. You just didn't lose basically for a whole season a DP. You lost your best DP and arguably the second best player in the whole freaking league. That's gonna take time, and then you get all these injuries. So I will say the fans, give it a month until, like I said, I think that the timeline to start to do the math and see if you can make it the play-in or the playoffs. I think it's gonna be July. I think it's gonna be All-Star game, which is in a couple months and a half. So I will give it time. I trust that Paintsel and Peck are not gonna suck like they've been doing in the last few games. I trust that Christian Ramirez is gonna score goals. I think that Cerrillo is gonna keep growing. I trust like Lapley is gonna keep growing. I trust that Yoshida is gonna elevate his play again. I thought that Yaman is gonna now healthy again. He's gonna play better. So the results are gonna come. Give it a little bit of time. Give it a little bit of time.
Galaxy fans, you heard it here first. Guneros, you heard it here first. We'll go ahead and close with this question for Michele. You've already answered, but since you said give it some time, we'll go ahead and put you on the hot seat right now. Knowing what you know about this Galaxy team right now, if you had to say right now, if this team is a playoff team or not, what would you go with?
I will say this team is a playing team right now. Playing team. So I think right now it's, if you get to a play-in, that's good. Ninth, 10. I think that's good. And again, you get it. I know home field advantage matters, but what matters the most is getting to the playoffs. For me, it doesn't matter if you're the Supporters Shield winner. It doesn't matter if you are a playing team. If you get into the playoffs, it's a new tournament. Everybody has a chance. And again, it cannot work. It cannot go. It cannot go worse than this. So Painsil is going to get better.
Absolutely.
Peck is going to get better. Christian Ramirez is going to get better. Everyone's going to get better. And you're going to get back Ricky Puig, which is the second best player in the league. If you get into the playoffs, this team is going to be a contender.
Oh, from your lips to the Lord's ears, it's tough writing all these Galaxy Lost articles every week. So from Michele's lips to the Lord's ears, Cuneros, everybody that's listening to this pod, we hope that he's right. I mean, again, every week when we bring you predictions, guys, and we're wrong, it hurts. And we want the Galaxy to pick up those points. But we also want to say thank you so much to our special guest for the day, Michele Giannone. He took the time to come through and let us know his thoughts on the Galaxy, where they are, where they could be going, and kind of pep you guys up a little bit. I mean, it's not all as bad as it seems, as bad, honestly, as we have been kind of painting it, just because we've been in it, we've been in the muck, and so now it's good to hear somebody from the outside come out and tell us, you know what, just go ahead and be patient. Let's see where the Galaxy are in about a month. Michele, go ahead and yeah, no, let's give it a month. We can be patient. Galaxy fans were patient for 10 years before that next title. They can be patient for another month. Can you go ahead and remind us where they can find you online if they want to go ahead and follow you on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, of course. Instagram and Twitter, same username at Michele G3. Michele is Michelle, just one L. And on TV every weekend on MLS Season Pass, Apple TV, and mostly on the Spanish shows, La Previa, 360, y El Resumen, y uno que otro game on the sideline. Mostly it's when for like selected Sunday night games, but yeah, that's where you can find me. I'm very always try to engage with fans. I reply a lot on Twitter, so if you ever have a question or something, I'm always checking the mentions. And yeah, I have a special place in my heart for, I don't know, this is not going to be popular to hear for the Galaxy fans, but I have a special place in my heart for both LA teams, for LAFC and Galaxy. Again, I've been living in San Diego for 6 years. I've been covering, Galaxy and LAFC for mostly every day for years now, being here on the West Coast. Both teams have treated me spectacular every time I go there. And it's been great, man. Again, just enjoy. You guys are the champions. Give it a little bit of time. The team is getting healthier. You're getting pushed back at some time. I believe in this team, and don't get worried. Everything's gonna be fine. I think that the best is yet to come this year.
Well, Michele, open invitation for whenever you want to come back to this pod. We do have a live pod on Monday and Thursday. I know chat would love to go ahead and engage with you. So open invitation. Chat, go ahead and show them some love on the socials and let them know, hey, come back and hang out with us on a live pod. And until then, thank you so much for hanging out with us today and letting us know what you think of the Galaxy and where they're at right now. Of course, Galaxy fans, there's not much to tell. They are the worst team in MLS. Like our guest host said today, they can't really do much worse.
The standing says that.
Exactly. He's just reporting on facts, and there's not really much worse they can get. So only one way to go from here. Let's check in again in a month, just like Michele says, and hopefully the Galaxy will by that point have a couple of wins to their name. Till we meet again, Guneros, LA Galaxy fans everywhere, go ahead and check this pod out on Monday and Thursday night. If you found us, it's because you found us at youtube.com/@LacunaGalaxiana. And one thing left to say, Vamos Campeones, LA strong, and you know what it is, Michele? Jesus!